Our vision is thriving farms, water in the ditches, open space and wildlife habitat, and all the landowners I work with share that vision. We are a family that shares that vision.
I think farmers are the best environmentalists. I'm trying to do my part to keep a good balance. And so the vision is about balance. And it's this culture and this give and take. And if you're always taking, it'll never give back to you.
We're filling big shoes. There's many, many generations of people who've been here long before us. We're just trying to do our part to ensure the continuity of the traditions and community.
The whole demographic is changing. We're all dealing with climate change. Every day you wonder if this will be your last irrigation. And meanwhile, developers are knocking on your door because they want to buy your land, they want to buy your water rights. The profit margins on agriculture are slim to begin with, so it's very challenging, and it would be very easy to throw in the towel. There's also this realization by a lot of people who want local food and this need to protect the land and water. I see us as laying the groundwork for that. Conservation easements are a voluntary deed restriction that prevents the land from being developed and protects those conservation values of the land in perpetuity. Our role as a land trust is we work with the landowners to help convey that conservation easement on the land. They take a long time. There's a lot of conversations. We say in the land trust community it takes 50 cups of coffee. Conservation easements themselves are a very complicated real estate transaction. Really, one of the most important parts of what I do is being able to listen to landowners, what their goals are for their family and the legacy they want to leave behind, and really helping them walk through that process.
This is Oasis Road, and this is where I hang out. This is my dad's land, and Mark and I still farm dad's land like it was dad's land, no? Like he's not even gone. In fact, there's his truck right there. This land is old land grant land, the Tomé land grant from way back, given to the people of Tomé by the King of Spain. And so, yeah, this land has been farmed from us for a long time.
We've never wavered of the vision that my dad had. It was always about family. And I think this farm has just kept us rock solid as a family. I remember just the hard work. I just remember just hard work, but I also remember, you know, the laughs and cattle and branding and riding horses. And so if I'm not working this property, I feel there's something that's an empty feeling in here. People say, why don't you subdivide? You'd be multimillionaires. It's not about that. It's just about the way of life. There's nothing like sleeping good at night when you've had a hard day's work on this farm and you wake up, you see the fruits of your labor. And I think that's a great feeling when you have this product that's coming from your land and you're sustaining other families, not just the people who work for me, but other families outside because of what you're doing.
I think we're the river, farmers of the river. We flood the whole valley like the river used to flood in the past. We're still taking the water back and forth. Anybody putting water down, growing something, will have a real strong feeling toward the land. We are always interested in seeing how we can preserve the property. Because my dad would always tell us, you know, when the time comes, you may have to develop it, but develop it the way you think is proper to develop it.
A connection and a trust is the most important thing when you have a vision. Because Cecilia had the same vision, and I trust her wholeheartedly to make sure we're doing the things correctly.
And we're moving forward like Dad wanted us to. And the vision was wealth, right? Not money.
It's about the family and building a wealth of a community.
It takes a village, you know?
Everybody knows one another in La Jolla and Contreras. Kelly and I are not from here. We're not from New Mexico. And the community here has really been very welcoming. We started small, here in the community, trying to preserve some land, trying to farm, and I'd say really becoming part of the La Jolla Acequia. There's still many community members who work very, very hard to preserve the traditions and culture of this area. Water is life for an acequia. Water is what keeps a community alive. And I think that's why this community works so hard together to really keep water coming to the land. La Jolla Acequia has a huge amount of history. It originated in the 1600s. Historically, there were several pueblos here in the area. This area was really rich in farming and in hunting grounds.
Our farm's location right along the Rio Grande has excellent corridor for all sorts of wildlife, but certainly for the birds especially. To have that water resource is so vital in a place like New Mexico.
My passion really has been birds. I have birded like a wild man all over this area, but we've recorded about 250 species of birds so far here at San Jose Farms. The reason we have these species here is we have some tremendous habitat that's relatively well preserved, and we're really working hard to maintain that. To take land that was just absolutely congested with salt cedar, hard to even walk through, and then through a combination of removing it and burning some of it and working that land over and over again to create farm fields and to create habitat. It's been special. It's been very challenging. I think farming frequently, just when you think things are going to go right, there is a hailstorm and it wipes out part of your crop, or there is a flood which wipes out some of the hay that you have stored in a barn, or there is a drought which wipes out your fields. You do the best you can, and then you live by your decisions day to day. How have we approached trying to run a farm in today's world with all of the challenges? I would say it's a team. I think the preservation of this area, it's worth much more than money.
I'd say the conservation easements have helped financially to cushion the blow of the unpredictability of farming. You have to save up for a rainy day, and you also have to save up for when there's no rain. Cecilia and RGALT's experience and knowledge has been extremely helpful, something we wouldn't have pursued without RGALT's help, especially the first time around, but even the second and third, just knowing the steps of the process, that is extremely helpful.
It makes us feel good to be part of what Rio Grande Agricultural Land Trust has been putting together. RGALT has worked with numerous property owners throughout New Mexico, and I think it really makes a huge impact for conservation. Even to be a small portion of that is really special.
We could not have done any of our work without partnerships. We had over 50 partners made up of foundations, other nonprofits, to protect and restore land and water in the Middle Rio Grande. What happens in Socorro impacts all the way up the Rio Grande, all the way into Colorado. We're all connected. The Rio Grande is our mother. She's got us connected. There's agencies that have programs, but they're relying on nonprofits like our land trust to get their programs out on the ground. With every easement we do, there's another handful of neighbors that are interested in learning. The need and desire is there. We need boots on the ground in order to protect land and water. And we need funding to take out to the community and compensate them for what they're giving up. Those are some gaping holes that need to be addressed for us to really expand our conservation work. So if we really want to protect farmland, which also provides critical wetland habitat, in addition to local food and building these local rural economies, it's critical. It supports recreation, hunting, bird tourism. There's just so many layers that are so important to the public and to the community and to our future that our farms provide.
I think one of my favorite sayings is, if you want a better answer, ask a better question. And my question is, what do we want in the future? Not just us, the surrounding community.
What kind of culture you want?
What kind of culture do you want? Because once it's gone and you give it up,
Yeah.
you'll never get it back. Do you want the quick money, or you want a culture of preservation?
What I would like to leave behind is a conserved area that people can enjoy, not just our family, but the public. I hope for all of humanity that they can come here and go bird watching and just see wildlife being wild.
Part of being human is that connection to nature. I think when you listen to the birds sing, or you listen to the elk bugle, or you find the yellow-billed cuckoo on its nest there in the cottonwoods, it gives me hope for the future.